at Colonel Crawford, where the Colonel Crawford Eagles will face off against the Ottawa Hills, and what was their
Green Bears.
The Bears, yes, that's right, like Margaretta. So they're the Polar Bears, though.
Polar Bears, yeah.
Doesn't matter either way.
Right.
Still the Green Bears out of the Toledo area athletic conference, and they, much like Colonel Crawford, have a 10-1 record on the season, and they came away last week with a big win. 42-7 was their final score to get to this game, and they beat Margaretta indeed,
right,
as we talk about them a little bit. Colonel Crawford, on the other hand, beat Seneca East 24-16. Looking at that score, maybe it wasn't as close as it was because Seneca East kind of came on late. But what do you think Coach Bruner and company learned from that win last week?
Well, it was a very similar game to when they played in the regular season, which we did, the regular season game, where they got off to a good lead in the first half and kind of then coasted a little bit, I guess. I'm sure Coach Bruner wouldn't say they coasted, but, that Seneca East played much better in the second half, and with their quarterback Foose, they're able to do a lot of things, and they did that. So, like you said, it was a little closer, maybe not as close as it looked, but especially playing a team the second time, a very difficult thing because they know each other so well, and I think that's what happened in that one. But and then for Ottawa Hills, last week was kind of a microcosm of their whole year, other than their one loss. They've only had 2 games where they didn't have a running clock. So they've put it on some people all year long.
All right, so we're going to take a quick timeout here for the national anthem, and when we come back, we'll have more of the pregame show on WBCO along with the OH Report.
For your support and introduce new services in doggy daycare and basic training by appointment. See you for your pet health care.
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Crawford and Ottawa Hills set to kick off here in just about 8 minutes or so. And Tim, we talked a little bit in that pregame about Colonel Crawford's win last week over Seneca East. Now let's kind of divulge into Ottawa Hills here as one of their main guys, Chase Miller, the quarterback, the junior. He has a almost 70% completion percentage. He has thrown for over 1,600 yards on the season. He's accounted for 28 total touchdowns, 26 through the air. And Tim, we talk about his completion percentage at 70%. He's only throwing one interception on the year.
Yeah, he's a real good one. I talked to Coach Bruner about him this week over practice and then a little bit when I got here tonight. And he's just a really good quarterback, good dual threat quarterback, left-handed, and throws the ball very, very well, very accurate. And someone said, well, how often does he throw the ball down the field and how far does he throw? I don't care where he throws it. You're completing almost 80% of your passes. You're still throwing very accurately. So that's the first thing. And then he also can do some things with his legs, and so that's going to be very important tonight because they're going to be playing without one of the Pillarellis. Reddick is not playing tonight. He got hurt last week in their game, and so he is out. And he's kind of like his younger brother's backup. And also they play them both at the same time sometimes. And he's had a pretty good year himself.
Almost 500 yards rushing for him, averaging 11 yards a carry. So he picks up a first down every time he carries the football.
Yeah, very
7
explosive
touchdowns.
With great speed, Coach Bruner said. And,
so unfortunately for them, they're not going to have that benefit.
Right.
But they still have Rocco Pirolorelli, and he's just a sophomore. And I mean, there's only 7 seniors on this Ottawa Hills team, so there's still room to grow, it seems like. But I mean, 10-1 on the season, and every win, it seems, has been convincing. We don't know about, I guess, the strength of schedule, who they played. We don't know much about the Toledo area. You know more about that kind of than a lot of people around here. And what are your initial thoughts there, I guess?
Well, you look at the teams, and and some of them are from Michigan, that play in their league. But, traditionally, none of them are really big football powers. They've had all of the – many of the teams, Evergreen's had years where they've had some – there's one of their non-league games. Swanton's had teams where they've been pretty good, but they've also had many down years. And this certainly must be one because, Ottawa Hills put one on both of them. But, they put one on, most of these teams. And so it could be a very interesting night. But I think one thing to keep in mind is that, looking at their roster, looking at a little bit of film that I saw Wednesday night, they only play 13 guys. And so, obviously conditioning is going to play a big part in this. And then the other big thing is they played with, like we said, they played with a running clock 10 out of their 12 games. And so I think one of the things that Colonel Crawford probably really wants to make sure they do is, first of all, they don't want the game to get out of hand, certainly, and have a running clock. But, unless they're ahead so far. And I don't, I don't think that's going to happen for either team. So it will be interesting to see, especially with a team like Crawford that, they really want to run the football, if they can continue to keep those guys on defense, because you use a lot more energy on defense than you do on offense, and especially Ottawa Hills does. Right before we came up to the press box tonight, when there was still a little pregame stuff going on, pregame stuff, I guess.
Pregame. We got here early.
Yeah. So we were talking to Coach Bruner, and as he said, they really try to get their rest on offense. They play, once the ball's snapped, they play very fast. But before the ball is snapped, they take their time. They they huddle every play. They take their time coming in and out of the huddle and use a lot of clock before they snap the ball. So that's where they get their rest. So to combat that, certainly Colonel Crawford wants to do what they do best, and that's to run the football and go on some long drives. Mm-hmm. And make them work even more than they're used to on defense. But I think you said during the when we were one of the breaks that we were talking, they don't give up much on the ground this year. They haven't given up a lot of yards on the ground all year.
Just over 600 yards on the ground.
And that's in 11 games. So that's about 50 yards, a little over 56
and
yards.
only 800 passing yards. We know Crawford's not going to really throw the football tonight, but only 1,500 yards total almost between rushing and passing for Ottawa Hills to give up. Once again, their competition level, but they haven't given up more than 7 points in a game since September 15th.
Yeah, and 150 yards a game. So, and they're scoring a lot. So they're giving the other team plenty of opportunities and plenty of possessions to try to score. And their defense is really stingy. That defense is led by two of their linebackers. Number 5 is John Perozic, and number 52 is Luke Nepper. And I guess they are as
two seniors as well.
And he calls them, that they're, Coach Bruner just said they are flat out two studs. And Perozic is already committed to Davidson, so he's got a Division I scholarship.
As far as we talked about just that one interception, Ottawa Hills only has 5 turnovers this year. How can Crawford defensively kind of try to force the issue here and maybe force some turnovers for Ottawa Hills?
Well, it will be interesting to see exactly what they're going to do. They've played all year with their 3-5, kind of a 3-5-4 defense, and Crawford's played very, very solid defensively all year. Kept the ball in front of them.
They've given up 260 yards a game, 11 turnovers forced. And those have been interceptions by Crawford. And if Ottawa Hills wants to come out and throw the football, Crawford has their best defensive backs in the game, obviously, and forcing 10 interceptions on the year.
Well, I think, as it is with any time, they're going to try to make them, one-dimensional. So they're going to try to take away one or the other. The other thing, real quick, special teams, always. So
talk about that, yes.
We'll talk about that when we come back.
All right, so let's take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff here. Colonel Crawford, Ottawa Hills, that's coming up next here on WBCO and the OH Report.
right away and see what they can do.
All right, it'll be Chase Miller. The shotgun standing at his own 30. And they will hand it off, and off the left tackle and tripped up over to the 37-yard line is Rocco Pillarelli. That one's going to be a tongue twister.
Well, at least one of them's out.
At least we're not saying Pillarelli all
and
night.
then he's got a freshman brother, too, on the roster, so we could have all three of them in there.
Reddick,
so luckily, there's only going to be two of them in play.
And Riker Pillarelli.
Yeah.
Second down and 7 here from their own 38 for the Green Bears. White uniforms for them, green pants, or is that black pants?
Black pants, I believe.
All black uniforms for Colonel Crawford. They'll fake the pass, or
a lot of room.
Fake the run, get it out to Jackson Snyder out in the flat on the screen, and this is going to be a face mask, and then stepping out of bounds to the 45. Trevor Vogt kind of dragged him out of bounds and seems to think that it's on the Green Bears.
It looked like when he was stiff-arming that he grabbed his face mask.
So looks like it is going to go against Ottawa Hills. It'll be a personal foul.
Well, they came
Takes
out
off the nice gain by Jackson Snyder.
They came out and threw a bubble screen to him, and, Colonel Crawford only had one guy out there to defend, and they got a guy out. Ottawa Hills was able to get a guy out in front, make the block, and Jackson was off to the races, but the 15-yard penalty is going to bring it back. So we'll go from 2nd and 7 to 2nd and 9.
So 2nd and 9, negate the first down. And we mentioned this in pregame. They kind of like to take up some clock. The clock not ticking at the moment, but the play clock down to 10. Miller, a left-handed quarterback. They'll send Anderson in motion. He'll take the jet sweep. Got a little bit of room out there and is stopped shy of the first down to the 43. Was Nicholas Anderson, the junior, coming out of his wide receiver spot on the jet sweep. Picks up 7 yards to make it a 3rd down and 2.
Yes, ran a jet sweep and don't see a flag laying anywhere. Sideline warning. Is that what he called? Yeah.
So it's a penalty. We talked about the penalties briefly. 71 penalties on the season for Ottawa Hills, 558 yards. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call.
Wow.
Another 15-yard penalty here for Ottawa Hills. Now sets up 3rd down and 14.
So he's motioned that was on the sideline. So the only way you can get that penalty is if the coach was actually out on the field and a ref ran into him. I believe that's how
they
it's
don't
gotta
even
be
give
called.
a warning at first.
They don't give a warning for that. So that's takes away that first down. And that's 2 15-yard penalties now for Ottawa Hills.
They got 3rd and 14, 10 minutes to go here, first quarter. Ottawa Hills, first possession of the game. They picked up the first down twice, but it's been negated by 2 penalties. They'll send John Perozic in motion. They'll hand it to Pillarelli, and he'll be stopped shy at the 35, does Pillarelli. And Ryan McMichael on the tackle.
Well, so that was
it was a
that
first
was
down.
a post.
So now they make it 2nd down.
Yes,
Excuse me.
so that was a post-play penalty.
Yes. All out of sorts here, but yes, 2nd down.
I got to redo my stats a little bit.
2nd down and 5 at the 35. And they'll fake the handoff this time, throw it out on the screen to Perozic. Perozic hurdles a defender and then ran out of bounds across the 45 to the 46. Is Perozic, and another first down here for Ottawa Hills.
Yeah, just ran, they run some nice stuff. Just got him out on the flat coming out of the backfield all by himself. Pick up a 9 and another first down. And Perozic is the young man that I said he'll be on his way to Davidson College and down in North Carolina on a football scholarship, and a really nice football player on both sides of the football. Big-time linebacker on defense.
5 touchdowns for him this year, 385 yards. And timeout here by Ottawa Hills. We'll take one as well. 9:08 to play here first quarter. Ottawa Hills with the possession and a first down coming up when we come back.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa!
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Ottawa Hills from their own 46-yard line. They'll send trips out towards the right side. Chase Miller in the shotgun. They'll fake the handoff, throw it on a slant route, and making the catch is Perozic again across midfield to the 48. Took a hard hit there. And another flag.
Again, it's against Ottawa Hills.
A legal man downfield.
Well, you don't see that called very often in high school football.
So they'll set this one all the way back, 40-yard line, 5-yard penalty, make it a first down and 15.
In fact, I was talking to a coach this week that said it's probably the least called thing that happens the most is in some of these run-pass option and different offenses that they have is that there's a lot of linemen downfield, and it doesn't get called much in high school football, but this is a good, different crew in the playoffs, especially the second round, so it got called, and luckily for Colonel Crawford.
They'll fake the handoff again. They got somebody wide open, and they will drop it. Cooper Eidenauer was wide open.
Yeah, they ran some boot action, and he came from his tight end position, just ran a flag route, and boy, he was 10 yards behind everybody.
It was underthrown a little bit.Maybe the wind. We were out pregame, and the wind was kind of whipping around a little bit.
Yeah, they're going against it right now.
At the moment, the flag, a little bit of wind, but second down and 16.
Like you said, it was a tough catch because it was underthrown a little bit, so it's one of those where you got to reach down and kind of get it between your legs. And I think he was still trying to run, and he'd probably been better off just turning around and catching it, taking the big gain.
Another flag, jet sweep, and down the sideline is Nick Anderson, and he will score a touchdown pending the flag. And obviously this one is more than likely.
It seems to be coming back. Everyone's walking this way. The refs aren't walking down towards the end zone. Legal shift.
Negate another huge pickup for Ottawa Hills.
Well, so far this has been about a 240-yard drive. And they're going to be on the 45-yard line.
Now they're going to be on the 35-yard
line. Yeah, so they're not making much progress because of these penalties, fortunately for Colonel Crawford. But that was just another jet sweep. And, Nick Anderson showing great speed. He went around the corner and went untouched into the end zone. But that one's coming back as well. So the 60-yard run is negated. And
second and 21.
we're talking
from
about
their own 35.
You know, we were talking about conditioning and stuff. Some of these guys better be in really good condition because they've run a long ways already to gain no yards, and there's another penalty.
Snap goes over Miller's head, but false start regardless.
So that's a 5th penalty on this drive already.
They started at their own 35, and now they're back at the 30-yard line.
Well, and they've officially have only run 6 plays. And now they've run 6 plays and lost 5 yards. But total, and it's all because of the penalties.
I don't know if I've seen a worse start. And it's not even just, holding calls or anything like that. It's just mental penalties, it seems like. They'll fake the jet sweep this time. Miller's going to step up in the pocket, throws it out in the flat. This is Nick Anderson making the catch. Gets across the 30 and dragged down at the 33 by Caden Bruner.
Well, that time they faked it to him. They were trying to throw the ball deep, but it was well covered and ended up flipping it out to Anderson then. But only a 3-yard gain, well defended by the Colonel Crawford defense. Bruner doing a great job of just staying home, doing his job, and making sure he wasn't looking into the backfield to see what was going on.
3rd and 23, 7 minutes, 40 seconds to play here, first quarter. Still the first possession of the game. Net yardage here, -2 for Ottawa Hills. They'll send Anderson in motion. They'll run the jet sweep with him. Colonel Crawford stays home this time, and there to wrap him up right at the line of scrimmage, or maybe a couple yards past, is Connor McMichael. And now Ottawa Hills will have to punt as they get right back to where the original series started at the 35.
I don't know if I've ever seen a stranger drive ever. I mean, they held the ball for almost – by the time he punts it, they're going to have the ball for 5 minutes, gained no yards, and scored 2 touchdowns. And now he dropped the punt.
Was he on his knee? And it's going to be shanked regardless.
It's shanked, but – I like that.
And he should be down back at the 25 because he was on his knee.
It sure looked like he picked the ball up on one knee.
And regardless, it's still going to be at the 38-yard line.
Colonel Crawford is taking over after a bad punt. And, we were talking about that earlier. Said we'd get to the special team stuff.
Talk about special teams. Talk about penalties.
Interesting. I mean, that was the only negative stat that Ottawa Hills had was their penalties, and boy, they played a major part. And then we wondered about special teams, and the punter just dropped the ball, and then with really still no rush to speak of, shanked it out of bounds. And our big question coming in is, are they going to kick the ball to Trevor Vogt? But we don't have to worry about it because that was short kick, went out of bounds. Crawford takes over.
2-back set. They'll fake the handoff to Micah Thomas. Vogt looking to throw out in the flat. It's caught by Ryan McMichael. Turns it upfield inside the 25 and brought down at the 21-yard line as Ryan McMichael on the catch. So Colonel Crawford, a run-heavy team. First down into Ottawa Hills territory, and they decided to throw it on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, great play action, and Vogt had a lot of heat on him. He had a guy holding on to him, but McMichael was wide open in the flat, and an easy 18-yard pickup and a first down for Colonel Crawford.
Vogt runs it himself off the left side, down the sideline, cuts it back inside the 10 and into the end zone for a touchdown.
This whole thing's unbelievable.
2 plays and into the end zone, a 38-yard drive, and that time from 21 yards out for Trevor Vogt.
So the team that was supposed to be ball control and take the ball down the field and take their time scores in 2 plays, 21-yard pickup for Trevor Vogt and the touchdown. And, Ottawa Hills, as we said, went on about a 125-yard drive, but unfortunately didn't pick up any net yardage and because of penalties, and just unbelievable the way this start is. But a great start for the Eagles.
They will take it any way they can. And now
Absolutely.
Braxton Morton in to attempt the extra point. And it is good. Colonel Crawford, a 21-yard touchdown run from Trevor Vogt puts them up 7-0, 6:18 to play here first quarter. You're listening to high school football on WBCO along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Winford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
OH.REPORT, 7-0, Colonel Crawford leading. Morton's kick goes to the far side, fielded at the 15-yard line. Looks like Jackson Snyder brings it up the left side, across the 30-yard line, and now we'll see how this drive goes. 5 penalties for Ottawa Hills on their first drive. This time they'll start at the 34, and we'll see if they can move it any further.
Well, the big thing is, for Colonel Crawford, their defense can't feel real comfortable yet. I mean, because
they
gave
up some plays.
Huge plays. And fortunately for them, they were all called back. I mean, even the one where they had the nice gain, then they got the post play penalty to bring it back 15 yards. So let's see what Ottawa Hills can do on this series.
Miller in a gun. Pilarelli to his left. He'll take the handoff, counterplay towards the right side, stays patient behind the blockers, cuts up across the 40-yard line, and a shoestring tackle by Trevor Vogt as he gets to the 40, and he'll be dropped right there. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
Just ran the wide zone play, one-on-one blocking by all their offensive linemen, and he was able to pop it outside and looked like he had a little room. Nice 6-yard gain, though, on 1st down.
Should mention, winner of this game will face either Bluffton or Winford next week.
Well, that would be wild if it was Colonel Crawford and Winford, and where
might be the biggest game in Crawford County history.
Yeah, where
do they play in
one?
Tiffin? Do they play in Marion? Who knows? They'll fake the handoff, and again has a receiver in Eidenayer, and Eidenayer drops it once again.
Yeah, he had some room.
Maybe a little bit on the back shoulder, but
it wasn't going to go for a touchdown. He was going to get tackled because they had it fairly well covered. But like you said, it was an easy back shoulder catch. That's kind of the thing that a lot of teams are using now, and I'm sure they do with as successful as they've been throwing the football all year.
3rd and 4 from the 40. They'll fake the handoff again. Miller looking out in the flat, finds his receiver in Perozic, who's dropped. There is another flag on this near side. They did not pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, this will be interesting in several ways. First, Coach Bruner will take the penalty. It looks like it'll be about a 4th and 1 or 2. Legal man downfield again.
Looks like Bruner wants to take it, maybe.
And
and why not? When you back them up another. This
because I think there's a better than average chance they were going to go for it if it's 4th and 2.
Bruner deciding what to do. And they're going to take the penalty.
They're going to take it. So another 5-yard penalty.
I mean, what's the thought process there? Obviously, you got to decide quick.
Well, it's between 4th and 2 and 3rd and 8. And they decided to go with 3rd and 8. Now you kind of know at least what they're going to do for sure. When it's 4th and 2,
you don't know.
The whole playbook's
open.
Yeah. Now they can expect the pass.
2 wide to the left here for Miller, who's looking to throw. Steps up, rolls towards the left, lobs it short, and it'll be caught. They're going to say he picked it up before it hit the ground. And I think that was Jackson Snyder on the catch. Couldn't tell, but I think it was him, and they'll have the 1st down at the 49. So they pick up the 1st down regardless.
He's been having trouble catching the ball. The first 2 that were thrown to him, now he makes a diving catch for a 1st down. Big 1st down for Ottawa Hills.
1st and 10, 4:20 to play here. 1st quarter. Miller will take it on the keeper after faking the handoff out towards the right side. Miller gets across midfield and is tackled hard by Ryan McMichael at the 46-yard line.
Yeah,
But about a 5-yard pickup to bring up 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, that was just a straight run from the very beginning. He just a quarterback sweep, and Miller showed the great speed that the coaching staff at Colonel Crawford talked about. He got to the edge and outran the first guy to get to the second guy. The good hard tackle, bringing him down for a 5-yard gain, but a 6-yard gain. But it now brings up second and short, really.
I think Miller paid the price on that hit as well. Kind of came out of the pile limping, but back in there. And they will hand it to Pillarelli, who will pick up the 1st down to the 40-yard line. So Pillarelli with a hard run there. And now you can see Ottawa Hills continuing to move the football much like they did in the first drive, but without the penalties.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the key to the whole thing. Another little bit of a, I like calling it a buck sweep out of the gun. They just handed the ball to him on the sweep, pulled a couple guys, and nice 5-6 yard gain, and just keeps the drive going.
Miller to throw. They throw it out in the flat. This is Nick Anderson trying to make a move. Turns it upfield. Connor McMichael on the tackle at the 36-yard line. About another 4-yard gain there for Ottawa Hills.
Well, he just tried to get it out really quick, running that little bubble screen again, and this time well defended. Unlike the first time they ran it, and it was called back for a penalty. Nice job of defending it there and holding them to a 4-yard gain.
2nd and 6 from the 36. Miller in the gun. They'll send Anderson in motion. They'll run the jet sweep with him. Turns the edge across the 35 with speed. Dives forward for the 1st down and a little bit more to the 27-yard line. And you can see the speed of Nick Anderson, the junior, turning the edge there.
Yeah, he's got outstanding speed. But, this may sound weird, but I don't think Coach Bruner minds this. I mean, sure, he'd like to get them off field. But if they're going to score, I think this is how he wants them to try to score, is on long drives.
Mm-hmm.
Because, one, they're not used to having to score on long drives. They score very quickly. And two, they get penalized a lot. So the more plays they run, the more chance there is to get another penalty.
Looking deep, throws it long on the wheel route, caught, turning into the end zone, but they'll mark him down at the 5. And that catch was made by Rocco Pillarelli on the wheel route. And they'll mark him down at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal here for the Green Bears.
Well, yeah, you called it, Jared. They just ran a nice wheel route, brought him out of the backfield, ran him into the flat, and then he turned up. Looked like they had it covered originally, and once he turned up the field, he ran by the guy a little bit, made a nice catch, and 1st and 5 now for the Green Bears.
Pillarelli on the carry, stuffed in the backfield for a loss of 1 back at the 6. Lane Reich on the tackle for loss. 2nd and goal. Kind of talk about that previous play. Was it more of like a zone defense there for Crawford, where?
Yeah, it was a zone, and what they did is they ran the wide receiver ran deep. I believe it was Jackson Snyder. He went deep and kind of cleared out that section, that deep third of the field, and then he turned it up, and there's no one. There's a linebacker trying to defend him, and
throws it across his body into the end zone, does Miller for a Ottawa Hills touchdown.
Is that Anderson that caught it?
I believe it was Nick Anderson. And so the score now 7-6, 6-yard pass.
Well, that was just a little bit of a scramble drill, and he started running around and.
Now they go for 2. And they will take the lead, does Ottawa Hills. It's 8-7 with 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ottawa Hills leading Colonel Crawford. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa.
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
On retirement, who'd be dumb enough to do that?
In Birie, where Ottawa Hills has an 8-7 lead after the 2-point conversion, 6-yard touchdown pass to Nick Anderson. And now Colonel Crawford trailing by just that 1 point.
Well,
we talked about special teams playing a factor, and instead they go for 2.
Yeah, here it is. Let's see if they're going to kick it to him.
Yeah,
No, they're squibbing it.
So. Squib kick, and they're going to break a tackle up to the 45 as they had the hands team in regardless. It was Connor McMichael who fielded the kick, and he almost broke loose and took it to the house.
Well, that can be dangerous when you do those short squib kicks. If someone does catch the ball on the fly, sometimes he runs right past those guys coming down the field, and he almost did that. And so now let's see what Crawford has in store for him offensively. Again, short field, and this Ottawa Hills defense is not used to giving up any kind of scores, less more a quick one, a 2-play drive like we had the last time. So
Peyton Baker in there at quarterback. Trevor Vogt split out wide to the left. Baker fakes the handoff to Thomas. Looking out in the flat, and wide open is Connor McMichael, and he underthrows him. Connor McMichael, much like on the previous possession for Ottawa Hills, ran the wheel route out of the backfield. Was wide open, but underthrown there by Peyton Baker. Is that where you kind of get in there when you bring Baker off the bench after he sat the first series and doesn't get a throw in until that, and then he underthrows it?
Well, he had a little bit of pressure, so he had a guy near, kind of in his face. I don't know if he was able to step into his throw totally. But, yeah, it's too bad because he had a guy wide open in the flat and it could have been an easy first down.
Vogt back in at quarterback. He'll hand it to Connor McMichael, who's met right at the line of scrimmage and will be shoved back by a host of Green Bears defensively. The first one to hit Connor was Benjamin Burke, the senior. And Burke coming off the linebacker or edge spot, you could say, here for this Green Bears defense.
Well, and these guys, they got 4 or 5 guys on that defense that are really, really good football players and make the majority of plays. It's unlike their offense where they spread the ball around to a lot of guys. Defensively, they count on just a couple guys, and it looks like we're going to get to the end of the quarter.
Yep, indeed, the end of the first quarter. 8-7 our score. Ottawa Hills on top of Colonel Crawford. You're listening to the Lewis Family McDonald's of Bucyrus and Gallion Game of the Week on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa.
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
On retirement, who'd be dumb enough to do that?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schiefer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Are you ready for the comeback?
And roll out, and he is sacked on the first play of the second quarter. The pressure was brought by Ottawa Hills on the blitz, and now it's a fourth down situation, and Colonel Crawford will have to punt.
Yeah, they brought Baker in to throw the ball on a 3rd and 10, and he just he tried to roll out, and they brought more guys than Crawford had to block and take a 9-yard sack. And now Coach Bruner can't be very happy about this. You know, you're in game 12 and you have someone not come in on the punt team.
Morton to punt, end over end. It'll be Jackson Snyder letting it drop in front. It'll take a slight roll close to the 30, and that's where it'll be downed. And Ottawa Hills, with an 8-7 lead and 11:04 left here in the second quarter, takes over. And, you know, you get into that situation where you have to bring Baker in because it's 3rd and long instead of keeping Trevor Vogt in there at quarterback, and then the pressure comes. And obviously, like you said, I mean, kind of like a cover zero blitz there for Ottawa Hills, and they brought the pressure, and Baker unable to even release the football.
Yeah,
surprised by the play action on that play? It takes a little time for that play to evolve there.
Sometimes it's just you see something and you really want to run that combination route, and the only combination route you have is when it's out of play action, so you got to run the play action part of it.
Send Perozic towards the left side of the line. Screen pass out in the flat. It's caught by Anderson. Anderson dragged down at the 36-yard line after making the catch. And another modest gain there for Ottawa Hills. Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5.
You know, they really like that play. It's the 4th time they've run it. One time it got called back, but so Anderson caught all 3 of the bubble screens for 14 yards, but it's just like running a running play, running a sweep on 1st down and getting it out to a kid like Anderson that has great speed, and hopefully you get a couple blocks and he might pop one.
10:20 to play here, first half. 8-7, Ottawa Hills on top. They'll run it with Perorelli. Towards the left side is Perorelli. Close to a 1st down, and they'll say he got it.
Yeah, that time Ottawa Hills ran Anderson in motion going to the right, and then they go sweep left. And you know, again, they're trying to clear out a little bit of the zone, get the defense moving a little bit, and then pop him outside. And that's exactly what they were able to do, get another 1st down. Their 7th one of the first half.
1st and 10 here for Miller and company. In the gun, Pelorelli to his right, looking to throw the hitch route, and it's thrown too high, intended for Jackson Snyder. And now 2nd down and 10 here from the 41 with 9:41 to play in the half.
Yeah, you call it just running a little stop route at about 8 yards and pretty well defended, so the ball was thrown high and out of the reach of Snyder, and so we're back to 2nd and 10, a good situation for the Colonel Crawford defense.
2nd down and 10, 15 seconds on the play clock. They'll send 2 and stagger them out wide to the right. They'll bring Anderson in motion. Pelorelli off the handoff, right side, trying to bounce it outside. Now turns it up across the 45 and gets to the 48-yard line, shy of midfield. 1st down would be at the Crawford 49, so we'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
Kind of like student body right. They just they pulled both their guards and got them out in front of Pirelli, and he was able to, with very good vision, read the blocks, get a great gain on a 2nd and 10, and now it gives you all kinds of looks on just 3rd and 3.
And probably more than likely 4-down territory.
Yeah, for them, the way this offense runs, I'm sure it is.
They'll send Perozic towards the right side of the line. They'll fake the handoff. It's tipped and incomplete, almost intercepted. They threw it out in the flat towards the right side. Looked like Trevor Vogt was out there on the coverage, and it'll bring up 4th down, and an interesting decision here for Coach Brandon Carter.
They went play action and tried to fool the Crawford defense, and they didn't go for the fake. And it looks like Ottawa Hills
They're
is
going
going
to
to call another timeout.
Let's go ahead and take one as well. 8:48 to play here first half. 8-7, Ottawa Hills on top. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Birie, Colonel Crawford trailing Ottawa Hills 8-7, and it looks like Coach Carter decides that he's going to send the punt unit out here on 4th and 3.
I don't think Crawford's just keeping their defense on the field. They're putting no one back deep.
Maybe expecting a fake situation.
They're
here
not so sure
Coach
we're going to see another punt.
I wonder if they would still run it here if they do indeed
punt it
end over end. Nobody back there.
Probably
and
could be.
It's going to roll inside the 5 and into the end zone for a touchback.
Close one.
Almost tracked down by Jackson Snyder. And fortunately for Crawford, now they're going to have the ball at their own 20-yard line.
After his first shank, that one he got 52-yard punt out of it. Unfortunately, only a net of 32. But, he just kicked that a little bit too good, and they almost had that thing down on the 1-yard line.
So now both teams kind of figuring each other out defensively, and we'll get the third look here at Crawford's offense. They scored with ease on that first drive and had a short field at the 38, and then the second drive stalled.
Well, they came out and threw the ball on first down and so got behind the sticks a little bit. No gain, so they had to throw it on third. And
risky pass, but caught right at the first down marker is Parker Weithman making the catch across to the 32. Trevor Vogt threw it out there, up for grabs. It looked like Chase Miller might have been able to track that one down and pick it off, but Weithman with a nice catch.
Well, 13-yard gain on the slant pass, and right now Crawford's looking like Air Crawford or something. I don't know, but throwing the ball a lot more than we're used to seeing.
8-7. With 8:10 to go here, first half. Ottawa Hills on top. Vogt going to run it off the left side, and he's dragged down from behind.
There's a flag.
There is a flag. Cooper Eideneyer on the tackle, and we'll see what the
Crawford. And I'd be surprised if he took this one. There was already a loss on the play. Now we're going to talk it over, though.
Yeah, about a loss of 5. It'll be false start. So basically, no play.
Well, they moved him back.
Now they have the ball at the 30. Penalty is declined.
I think they declined it, yes.
Second down and 13.
So they tried to run a quarterback sneak, but they were all over it. Now they got an empty set, so they got to throw it.
Vogt shoots it up the left side. Jump ball incomplete. No flags. Intended for Ryan McMichael, and it was underthrown, or I should say a little bit overthrown. Chase Miller on the coverage, and just out of the reach of McMichael there as it was the jump ball.
Well, they went an empty backfield and just threw the go route. Had a lot of guys running go routes, and McMichael mistimed his jump a little bit when you see that. When you see it on the replay, he may have jumped a little bit too soon.
7:51 to play here first half. Ottawa Hills 8, Colonel Crawford 7. Colonel Crawford with a 3rd and 13 from their own 30-yard line. Micah Thomas to the left of Peyton Baker, who's fresh into the game. Baker, 2-step drop, shoots it up the middle of the field, and it's dropped, intended for Caden Bruner, the tight end, across the middle of the field. And once again, Colonel Crawford's going to have to punt.
Well, they're getting into situations they just don't like to.
They're not used to it.
They're
either.
not
Yes.
a big 3rd and 13 team, and so they can't take that loss on the
more
on
the first down
run.
play, right? The past couple of drives.
But the biggest thing right now, my question is, where is Micah Thomas? He has not carried the ball yet. He's been in, but he has not carried the ball, and he's their leading ground gainer this year.
Morton punts it towards the right side, and it'll go away from Jackson Snyder and out of bounds around the 40-yard line. It'll be marked down at the 39, where Ottawa Hills will take over with 7:40 to play here in the half with a 1-point advantage at 8-7. You mentioned it there. It's just kind of the first down plays for Crawford here so far. They haven't been able to pick up yardage.
Yeah, well, surprisingly, they've thrown the ball quite a bit on first down. Got that first down on the slant pass and then on the one drop. But now, yeah, they just got to do a better job on first down, whatever it is, whether they run or pass. Someone moved
again. We're going to have a false start here. Pillarelli moved in the backfield, and the right side of the line moved as well. So 1st and 15 here for the Green Bears from their own 34 now.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those 5-yard penalties. And now 2 of them were illegal man downfield, but then also 3 motion penalties. As good as they are on offense, they might be better off just going on the first sound every time and snap it and go.
Play clock down to 5. They'll send Anderson in motion. They'll run a counter play with Pillarelli. Trying to get outside, stretches it back in, and cuts it close to the 40-yard line, and they'll get back to the original line of scrimmage at the 39. Faulkner on the tackle there for the Eagles. So 2nd down and 10. Here for Ottawa Hills.
Yeah, Ottawa Hills just seems to have an offense better equipped to overcome these situations than Crawford's right now. And so 2nd and 10 to them is no big deal.
Ball at their own 39. Once again, the play clock under 10 seconds. Anderson in motion. They'll fake the handoff, roll out towards the left. And he's got Anderson wide open, standing at the 25, and he can just walk into the end zone for a Green Bears touchdown. That is a 61-yard touchdown pass, and you can see the play evolve. And Anderson wide open, standing in the middle of the field.
Yeah, they just crossed the 2 receivers on a little rollout, and they just let Anderson go. And it looked like they were going to run with him, but miscommunication in the secondary for Colonel Crawford, and easy touchdown for the Green Bears. And let's see if they kick it or they run one of their specials again. This one, it looks like they're going to line it up and kick it.
Anderson's 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. They will kick it with Micah Walker. Extra point is good. Ottawa Hills with a 61-yard touchdown pass from Chase Miller to Nick Anderson, and they now lead at 15-7. 6:42 to play here first half. You're listening to high school football on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
First half, Ottawa Hills 15-7 after a 61-yard touchdown pass from Chase Miller to Nick Anderson. And Tim, kind of go back through that play. As you can see, here on the replay. They kind of that pre-snap motion where they sent him out on the left side in the slot. Did Colonel Crawford kind of have that miscommunication early on?
Yeah, so then he just turned up the field, and then they crossed. The two guys crossed, and as Anderson turned and ran across the middle of the field, they let him go. And so they had no safety in the middle of the field, and he was just running free. And easy pitch and catch for the Green Bears.
Anderson with 2 touchdowns tonight. He only had 1 all year and only 121 yards receiving.
Yeah, maybe he was hurt part of the year or something.
Yeah, that had to have been.
They seem to be going
kind of a hidden gem at this point.
Yeah.
Lucas Foy is going to take the return, and Colonel Crawford hasn't had very many returns this year because most teams kind of squib it, but he'll take it up to the 22, and Colonel Crawford down 15-7. They haven't found themselves in this position very often this year, trailing with 6:36 to play here first half.
No, not at all. And, so kind of weird, that time they did kick it deep, but, fortunately they kicked it not to Trevor Vogt. They kicked it to Whiteman, and Whiteman got it back to the 22. Good coverage by Ottawa Hills. Now let's see if we can get Crawford back to doing what they do and run the football.
Vogt with Micah Thomas behind him and a penalty flag. Play clock was at 6.
Someone moved for Crawford.
And Crawford kind of out of sorts both offensively and defensively here so far in this first half. And move it back, and now you move into a situation where you might have to throw it again at 1st and 15.
Well, I would be surprised if they did. I mean, the way this game has been, I guess it wouldn't be a surprise, but they need to get back to doing what they do best, and that's handing the ball to Micah Thomas.
You have 3 running backs, 2 running backs and a quarterback who have almost 3,000 yards combined.
Right. And
they'll hand it to Thomas. Towards the right side, bowls through to the 20-yard line.
So that's his first carry, gain of 5. Unfortunately it was on a 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10, so now they're second and 10.
Yep.
But, let's see what they do. I'd keep dialing up the run until Ottawa Hills shows. They really haven't had to stop it big time because of the situations that Colonel Crawford has put themselves in.
Vogt in the gun. Fakes it to Thomas, looking to throw. Off of his back foot, lobs it up, jump ball, and incomplete. Connor McMichael tried to dive over the back of Benjamin Burke, and it was underthrown. And you look at Vogt there kind of rolling out. He had time to plant that foot, and he throws it off his back foot instead and throws it short.
Yeah, and McMichael did a great job because he became the defensive back because it was going to be an interception. He did a great job of knocking the ball down.
So 3rd and 12 here for Colonel Crawford. And once again in a position that they don't want to be in here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, they've been 3rd and long most of the night, and unfortunately for them. They're bringing a lot of heat right now.
They do bring 5. Vogt steps up, throws it deep, and incomplete.
Might be an interference. No.
At the 45-yard line. It was intended for Connor McMichael, and once again Crawford's going to have to punt.
Ottawa Hills brought some pressure, so Vogt felt it really quick and had to roll out to his left and had trouble getting his shoulders around. Did a good job just getting rid of the ball and not taking a big loss on that one.
So 15-7, Ottawa Hills on top with 5:46 to play here first half, and the Green Bears may be looking for
coming after
one
this
more
one.
score. Morton gets it away, and Snyder has to go back, and he's going to let it fall, and it'll be down at the 32-yard line by Colonel Crawford. And Ottawa Hills with 5:37 left here in the first half. They lead 15-7 and looking to maybe make this a 2-score game.
Well, this is a key set of downs for their defense. They really need to hold
Crawford does have
Ottawa
the ball
Hills
coming out at halftime.
Yeah,
after
so
halftime.
they really need to hold them here, and they'll be all right if they can get a hold here. But, boy, this offense is very explosive for Ottawa Hills. So let's see what Coach Carter's going to come up with for this drive.
So 1st and 10 here for the Green Bears at their own 33. And they've been able to move the football, and negate those penalties, and they have a lot more yardage here so far tonight. Anderson goes in motion. They'll run the sweep with him. Off the left side, trying to get outside, slips through the first tackle, and then trips up across the 35 to the 37. But another bonus gain on first down, and then it's now second down and about 6.
Yeah, just think, they're pretty much a team that's going to try to take advantage of their speed. So, they throw the ball well down the field. They throw a lot of go routes and a lot of long routes. They run a lot of different kinds of sweeps. Don't run between the tackles much at all.
Ball at the 38. Have to get to the 43 to pick up a first down. Anderson in motion again. Birie off the handoff, right side off the right tackle. Cuts up over the 40-yard line, and it will be stopped shy of the first down at the 41, but it will bring up third down and 2.
Yeah, they're almost always running motion one way or the other, and which gets your defense moving a little bit and getting them to adjust. They really like running just what they ran right there, where they run the motion one way, fake the ball on the jet sweep, and then run the counter backside, and with a guard and a tackle pulling. So the old counter tray, as they used to call it, and it's been very successful.
5 seconds on the play clock, 3rd and 2. And what do we got here? Some movement up front.
It'll be interesting to see. Crawford may have went off sides. I mean, they did a shift to run a quarterback sneak, and it was almost like the quarterback lined up like under the guard, behind the guard. It'll be interesting to see if they're saying that he put his hands underneath.
It will be.
No, they didn't. It's going to be an offsides and a first down.
Offsides and a first down, as you mentioned, yes.
As long as the quarterback, when he lines up behind a guard like that, as long as he doesn't put his hands underneath the guard's rear like he's taking a snap, he can, he just lined up there, and then he moves quickly to go behind the center to run the quarterback sneak. That's a nice little play.
So 1st and 10 now at the 47. 3:45 to go here first half. Ottawa Hills with a 15-7 lead. Perosi in motion. They'll fumble the snap. Birie picks it up, trying to gain something out of nothing, and gets cut down at the 41. So a botched snap leads to a loss on the play. They avoid disaster.
Well, it looked like they may have snapped it before the quarterback was ready, because they were both back there, and it just looked like no one was ready to get it.
2nd down and 15. 3:08 on the clock. Looks like Crawford may bring pressure, and another fumbled snap. Miller rolls out of the pocket, throws it up for grabs, and it's picked off. Caden Bruner picks it off inside the 45, and Colonel Crawford set up in business now. They have the ball at the Green Bears' 41-yard line.
Well, as you called it, it was another botched snap, and then you see Miller rolling to his left, and he's got pressure, so he was under duress and threw it up in the air, overthrew the guy, Caden Bruner, right there to make the interception. And Colonel Crawford back in business. If they can punch this in, or at least get 3 points out of it with them getting the ball to start the half, this is right back to a really nice ball game again.
Crawford with the momentum. It'll be Baker in under center. Fakes the handoff, hit as he throws, but wide open is Trevor Vogt, and he falls down at the 30-yard line, and it's dropped.
Once again, Baker just couldn't get his legs underneath him because they got into their wing T look and, ran Trevor Vogt right by everybody, had him wide open, but unfortunately he underthrew him.
Tried to pop the touchdown right off the interception.
The good thing is it could have been a touchdown. The bad thing is now that it wasn't, they're 2nd and 10 again, and they've not been good in these situations all night.
2:49 to play here first half. Crawford trailing by 8. It'll be Vogt taking it himself, and once again just stuffed for nowhere. Benjamin Burke off the edge makes the tackle on Trevor Vogt, and he stopped back at the 44-yard line. So Crawford had all that momentum. Now a broken play on first down where they had possibly a touchdown. And then now another broken play on second down, and Vogt stopped in the backfield back at the 44, and they have not been falling at all for that run by Trevor
No,
Vogt.
and the linebackers are just outstanding, both their outside linebackers and those two middle linebackers, and they're doing a great job tonight of really shutting down this running game. Crawford going to get a timeout here.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take one as well. 2:13 to play here in the half. It's 15-7. Crawford facing a 3rd and 12 when we come back.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa.
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Are you ready for the comeback?
Vogt to throw here on 3rd down. He'll throw it up for grabs, and there's a receiver wide open. Lucas Boy makes the catch. They're going to say he was down, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
Trevor Vogt threw
He
it
was
up.
not down.
And we'll see what the call. Did they say it was incomplete anyway? So we'll
This
see
is
let's sort
crazy.
this one out because it looked like it was
Well,
a catch.
Here's the replay on the OH report.
Did they initially call him down? I thought I heard a whistle.
He's not down,
Not
not
down.
even close to being down. Then it sure looks
They
like
threw
a
it.
catch. Sure looks like a catch. And, so it's hard telling what they're going to call here. But this could be ugly.
Upon further review, the call is incomplete pass.
Incomplete.
It's an incomplete pass.
And now you can hear the Crawford faithful.
Yes. They are not handling that well, and I don't know. I mean,
It was tough to tell.
It's hard to see if he bobbled. I mean, he caught it originally, and did he drop it? Did he, bobble it and it hit the ground, and they're saying the ground helped him catch it. But I don't know what they possibly saw.
So now you got to control things here if you're Coach Bruner. Obviously, you may be upset with the call, but now he's got to get his team ready to play once again.
2:04, but they're still showing it's 3rd down. So I don't know what they're calling.
I'm just going to negate the play altogether.
Because right now, are we getting a do-over? Didn't you have those when you were a little kid playing, sports? You call for a do-over? Because right now it's 3rd down. So, yeah. Is that a my bad by the officials, and we're going to give them?
Now they're running the clock.
So it can't be an incomplete pass because he said start the clock. So
Okay.
I have no clue what they called.
Well, they sent it out to
But he's up it
Bo.
again.
Makes it, but it's incomplete. He drops it at the 21.
So I'm still not
Now,
sure.
So is this 4th down now?
I have no
or was
idea.
that-
I am totally lost at this point right now.
So they basically just said no play, right?
Apparently, they call it a
Because
do-over.
now they're punting. Yeah, so
because they're letting them punt.
they redid 3rd down.
So they redid 3rd down and said my
Yeah,
bad.
they redid the down. I don't understand that at
guess.
all.
Coach
I
Bruner,
heard the whistle.
He's
but
still not very happy. Nor should he be.
end over end punt here for Braxton Morton. It's going to drop at the 20 and take a roll backwards to the 23 where it will be down by Crawford. But a lot of confusion there. Indeed, they did replay the down, and we thought we heard a whistle there. And
Well,
I think that's where they just said, let's redo this.
The other thing, they had Trevor Vogt running free, and he just couldn't quite make the catch. But it was a decent pass by Baker, probably the best one he's throwing tonight. And but he just wasn't able to bring it down. But this high-powered Ottawa Hills offense still has plenty of time, even though they only have one timeout.
1:45 to go. As you mentioned, one timeout. They'll send Anderson in motion. They'll hand it off. Pillarelli off the right side. Cuts it back across the 25 and is upended at the 28-yard line. Shy of the 30-yard line. Perhaps second down, and now you see a second down and 4, and now they're right at the line. Miller throws it. Quick out route caught and ran out of bounds was Jackson Snyder, and we're going to have a penalty flag. Jackson Snyder made the catch, and this is going to be a late hit. So tack on another 15 yards here. After the late hit.
Yeah, it's a rough, tough call. You know, it's hard sometimes to see where you are. He spun him down and
of course, we're on this side, so we can't really tell.
So we can't really tell exactly how far he was out of bounds when he decided to take him to the ground. But another first down for Ottawa Hills. They're 9th of the half, and they're in business right now. They have plenty of time with 1:23 still left in the half to get a score in here.
Ball at their own 49. 3 wide receivers to the right. They'll send Perozic towards the motion side on the left side. They'll fake the handoff. Looking long down the right side. Shoots it up the right side. Up for grabs and incomplete. Throwing too far. The receiver ran out of bounds anyway to Jackson Snyder before he touched the football, and it's incomplete. It's a second down and 10.
This quick play action and a go route, and not a bad throwing ball. Gave an opportunity. Pretty well covered by Crawford. But so now they're just second and 10, and for Ottawa Hills, this is no big deal. Plus, they get a chance to huddle.
Play clock down to 12. Second and 10 from their own 49. 2 wide receivers towards the left side. Pillarelli behind Chase Miller in the gun. They'll hand it to Pillarelli, and he'll be stopped shy of the 50-yard line, or right at the 50-yard line. Caden Bruner on the tackle, and now it's 3rd and 9.
One of the few times they've just run the dive, and Crawford wasn't fooled at all. Got their down lineman to the point of attack, held him to a 1-yard run.
Kind of almost sincere. They're almost content.
They might
going
be
into halftime with that 8-point advantage.
They're letting it run, and it looks like they're going to let it run down like they usually do, and just take their time.
Unless they think they can hit a big one here.
Well, and they might. They might go play action and try to throw the ball deep.
Run the sweep again with Anderson trying to zigzagging his way through the defense. Did a lot of work there for 2 yards and 27 seconds on the clock to bring up 4th down.
And I would imagine they're just going to let the clock run out, and it looks like Crawford's not going to call timeout. And
obviously, Coach Carter pretty content going into halftime with that 8-point advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure seems to be.
And as you said, they don't even need the run of play. To play the game clock down to 2 seconds, and it will go into halftime. So Ottawa Hills a little shaky through the penalties. Colonel Crawford gets a late interception, but doesn't do anything with it. Instead, Ottawa Hills heads into the locker rooms with a 15-7 halftime advantage. Colonel Crawford will have the ball when we come back. So stay tuned to the OH Report for the bands and the halftime show. We'll be with Ohio News Network halftime show here on WBCO. Once again, our score at halftime is Ottawa Hills 15, Colonel Crawford 7. You are listening to the McDonald's of Bucyrus and Galleon Game of the Week on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa!
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Get ready to witness pure musical swagger. Soak in the vibe as we bring you the undeniable charm and groove of this legendary hit, Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. Attention, metalheads and headbangers. Get ready to unleash your wild side. Bang your heads and witness a sonic spectacle that'll blow your mind. Let the metal madness commence with Metallica's Enter Sandman. Let's hear it for your 2023 Colonel Crawford Eagle Marching Band.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
top of Colonel Crawford, and Tim, it was kind of a quick start for Crawford. Kind of gained momentum after the penalties by Ottawa Hills on their first drive, scored in 2 plays, and then kind of stalled there. They only ran the ball 6 times, kind of got away. Okay, thank you, perfect. So kind of stalled there, and then they only ran the ball 6 times, and that's not part of the game plan, but some things change when you don't pick up any yardage on first down.
Well, yeah, it looked like they wanted to do some some play action, some different things maybe to confuse Ottawa Hills a little bit and take advantage of their aggressive defense. But they've never been able to get back to having a series where they just ran the ball 3 consecutive times, or at least first and second down. The times they ran it on first down, it looked like they were trying to throw it on second down. They've had some plays where they've taken some losses. I mean, as you said, they've only run the ball. They've run the ball 6 times, and 3 out of the 6 plays, they've lost 17 yards. So they only have a net of 10 yards, and which is weird because they gained 21 on their touchdown. And so, yeah, they just haven't had the ball many downs. It's other than that first series, everything's been 3 and out, and so they got to get back to keeping the Ottawa Hills defense on the field, trying to figure out how to do that and have some success with their running game. And then for Ottawa Hills, like I said, that first drive was worrisome if you're really the Colonel Crawford defense, because they were able to move the ball so at will. Unfortunately, they just had all those penalties. They kept bringing it back. And so then the next 2 times they had the ball, they were able to move it and go down and score. But the last 2 drives, Colonel Crawford's defense has responded and has done a really good job of stopping them. But the biggest, like I said, this is, I think, our 4th Colonel Crawford game we've done now this year. And there's never been anything like this where they've actually thrown the ball more than they've run the ball. And again, they've only had 16 plays, and 2 of them were the first 2 plays of the game where they had good success, but then their next 4 drives, 12 plays, have all been 3 and out, and they've got very little to show for them. Probably negative yards, to be honest, because they've thrown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight incompletions, and then they've had a sack for 10 yards, and Trevor Vogt ran it twice for -3 and -4 yards. And so the only positive play they had in those 12 plays was Micah Thomas's 5-yard run. And so they got to get back to having some positive plays on offense. For Ottawa Hills, on the other hand, again, they even the last 2 drives, on each of the last 2 drives where Colonel Crawford has stopped them, they had a penalty on each one of them. So they still took a 5-yard penalty. So you're still trying to gain 15 yards instead of 10 yards to get the first down, and Crawford was able to hold them on both of those. But so this first offensive drive, I think, is incredibly important for Colonel Crawford to get back to what they do best, and that's running the ball and hitting the play-action pass every now and then. But right now,
just trying to put some points up on the board. I mean, you got your kicker and Braxton Morton, who's able to. I mean, he kicked over a 40-yarder last week. And, he can hit a pretty decent. I mean, the wind obviously tonight might make that a little bit more difficult. But if you can at least get in range, and you have that weapon to at least get this back to where if you score a touchdown, you take the lead. But on the other side of things, I mean, Crawford. Their offensive line is used to dominating, Tim, and that just hasn't been the case here tonight, because that defensive pressure, by whether it be the linebackers, and you've kind of seen where they move the linebackers up to the line of scrimmage and bring that pressure every time. And what can Crawford kind of do to combat that and kind of negate that advantage?
Well, I think they just have to stick to their running game and see if they can pop one. They're putting so many guys up on the line of scrimmage, like you said. They're bringing they play usually with 3 down linemen, and it looks to me like they're playing with 4 down linemen and only playing 3 linebackers, where they usually play with 3 and then play with 2 outside linebackers, which are really defensive end types, and then play with their 3 linebackers, a couple corners, and a safety. And it looks like they're playing more with 4 down linemen, and then still walking up those outside linebackers up there, so it's almost like a 6-man front, and just playing with two inside linebackers. And so, you just got to stick with the running game, and I think, a couple times when they've tried to run the ball too, they've, Vogt trying to get to the outside, they know that that's something he wants to do, and they've just refused to let that happen. So maybe running some things with him where he's not trying to get all the way out to the edge, and just running maybe some just lead plays off tackle, or some counter plays where you're trying to run it up back, run it maybe inside a little bit as well. But this is a really good defense. I mean, there's a reason they've only given up, like 6 points.
97 points total.
6 or 7 points, 7 points a game, 8 points a game. There's a reason they're only giving up 8 points a game. And what'd you say, 90?
97.
97.
So 11 games so far.
And 28 of them in the game they lost, right? Wasn't it 28?
26 points in the game they lost. And in the following game was 16. And other than that, they haven't given up more than 7 points in a game.
So that's 43 in 2 of them. And, so, yeah, if I'm correct, that's only like 54 in the other 9. So that's 6 a game.
All right. Any final thoughts before we head to break?
No. Just looking for an exciting second half.
All right. So with that, we'll take a timeout. 15-7 our score. Ottawa Hills on top of Colonel Crawford. We'll have the second half kickoff when we come back.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa.
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer.
Here on WBCO and the OH Report. Jared Moore alongside Tim Birie. Ottawa Hills with a 15-7 lead here, getting ready to start this second half. And the advantage for Crawford, I guess, here is that they will have the football as long as, any unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
They did try kind of a little onside squib kick not too long ago in that first half. And it'll be Trevor Vogt and is that Lucas Foy back deep to
No,
receive?
that's number 1.
Oh, Parker Weithman.
Yeah. So Weithman is back. The last time they kicked it straight to him, and he was only able to get it back to like the 22. So now they're stacking him, trying to wait till he kicks it or right before he kicks it to decide who's going where.
If they even kick it there. I saw him practicing in warm-ups trying to get it to the 30-yard line. And here comes the kick, and they will indeed do the same thing. It'll be Trevor Vogt, picks it up at the 20-yard line, and he's going to reverse his field and be tripped up at the 20. Not much room there for Trevor Vogt.
Well,
they've taken advantage and really held firm here on Trevor Vogt so far tonight.
It's a little different animal for Trevor. You know, he's used to being able to absolutely outrun everybody, and
he's the best athlete in the N10.
This team has a lot of speed, and so he needs to get a little bit of more of a gap, or they're going to be able to chase him down.
1st and 10 here for Crawford to start this second half at their own 20-yard line. Crawford faithful trying. They haven't had much to cheer about. And it will be Baker, and there's going to be movement on the right side of the line. Baker in at quarterback. And it'll be a false start. Not the start that Crawford wanted.
No, it looked like, they put Trevor Vogt in motion, and it looked like maybe they were going to try to either send him on a wheel route or trying to get a screen out there to the left. And unfortunately, they got a little movement. When Vogt went in motion, someone else moved, so that means you had two guys in motion at the same time, and that's not legal.
They'll hand it off inside, and nothing going there either. Stopped at the 15. No gain on the play to bring up 2nd down and 15.
Just ran, got in their wing tee and just ran Micah Thomas straight up the middle for no gain. And like we keep saying, not a situation that Crawford wants to be in where it's second and 15.
Baker in the gun. Trevor Vogt split out wide to the right. Baker shoots it up middle of the field. Open is Vogt. Diving catch at the 47-yard line by Trevor Vogt. Pressure was coming. Baker was hit, stood in the pocket, and delivered a strike to Trevor Vogt, who makes the diving catch.
Yeah, great job by both guys. Vogt just ran a go route, and with a guy right in his face, in fact, just about tackling him as he threw it. Baker threw a strike 32 yards down the field for a first down, Kirk Crawford. And they were able to overcome this time the penalty on first down. Vogt back at a quarterback.
And he'll hand it off to Thomas, who's hit and dropped back at the 42.
And that was Nepper.
This will be a loss of 5. Micah Thomas, nowhere to go. And you mentioned that speed on Trevor Vogt. It's the same thing for these running backs, getting right through the gaps on that offensive line and shooting through to make the stop.
Yeah, that was Luke Nepper, and, that's a guy that I've heard a lot about during practice this week and things. He is just a fine number 52, and he's just a fine defensive lineman, and he's a senior, one of the few seniors they have on this team, and boy, it looked like he was unblocked.
Baker to throw, throws it across the middle. Catch is made right around the original line of scrimmage. And complete to Payne DeGray, coming out of his tight end spot, makes the catch. Modest gain of 5 yards, and back to a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, at least it gives them a little bit of a chance. A little easier 3rd and 10 than it would have been 3rd and 15, certainly. And Baker completed his last 2 passes after throwing his first 4 as incomplete.
9:52 to play here, 3rd quarter.
Baker's going to stay in at quarterback.
He's going to go under center. Thomas behind him in the backfield. Ryan McMichael at the bottom. Vogt goes in motion. They'll fake the toss to him. Run the counter play inside. Connor McMichael stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Bounced off the first tackler. And then Perozic makes the tackle along with Luke Nepper.
It looks like they're going to punt it.
And you talked with Coach Bruner before the game, talked to him earlier in the week, and, he said there was some studs on this defense.
Yeah, and they sure are. Nepper is outstanding, and we've seen him make the last couple plays. Perozic, there's a reason he's going Division I to go to school for free. And they got some other guys as well that are doing a great job, and a good kick, a good punt.
Good punt that rolls inside the 15.
Going to get him down to the 10.
Down to the 10. Beautiful punt by Braxton Morton. But Ottawa Hills gets the stop defensively, and now they'll take over. As after that Vogt catch, Crawford stopped after 3 plays.
Well, it just seems, offensively, what's going to have for Crawford to score, they're going to have a big play. They're either on one side of the ball or the other, so they're going to have to get a turnover somehow, get a short field, or just make a big play.
Well, and maybe if Vogt doesn't have the dive for that, he makes that catch and turns it
up.
up.
He was past him, so if he wouldn't have had to, he could have go. But they got to get a stop right here.
Yeah, just a touch off here on some of those throws. Pillarelli off the right side is shoved back. And this might be his shortest gain here on first down, only a pickup of 2 or 3. And it looks like we have a Crawford defender down.
Injury on the field.
And an injury timeout.
Well, they're doing a pretty good job on Pillarelli, really. I mean, he's carried the ball 14 times for just 64 yards, so just a little bit over 4 yards carry.
Let's take a quick timeout. 8:46 to play here in the third quarter. Crawford trailing 15-7. Listen to high school football on WBCO.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa.
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
On retirement, who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Still feature.
Runs it straight up the middle, and now it'll be 3rd and 2. They haven't run that dive play often. They run it there.
Yeah, good gain there. Got some good push and brings up a 3rd and short.
3rd and about 2.5, 3
always
yards.
in motion, though. They're always running motion somewhere. So
how difficult is that defensively if you haven't seen that?
Yeah, well, it gets your defense moving a little bit. It can, especially your secondary a lot of times and things, so you can tell what kind of defense they're in.
Pillarelli dives forward.
Close. I
think he got it right at the line to gain. And he picks up the first down.
Yeah, just enough push. Just, again, motion, same thing they just did. Ran motion one way and ran the dive back inside. So what that can do, a lot of times, and especially running inside like that, you can see the linebacker is one of the linebackers a lot of times as that guy's going in motion one way or another. One of your outside linebackers has to widen out a little bit to defend him turning up the field.
1st and 10, 7 minutes, 30 seconds to play here, third quarter. Ottawa Hills leading 15-7. Miller fakes the handoff, shoots it up the hash, and just out of the reach of Jackson Snyder, and incomplete. Had him up the seam. Just a little out of the outstretched arms of Jackson Snyder.
They were fortunate he overthrew it because he had run by everybody again. And that's been the case a few times with Jackson. Jackson Snyder's been able to run by people, and they just haven't been able to make that connection for the big one. They did it once, but that's why they're just going to keep doing it, until they hit another big one.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the 21. They'll run it off the right side. Pillarelli again gets over the 25 and is chopped down at the 26. So 3rd down and about 4 or 5 yards here for Ottawa Hills.
Well, big down here. This could, if with the ball only on the 26, if Crawford can get a stop and hold them under 5 yards, they're probably going to get the ball back here. I can't imagine Coach Carter would go for it on a 4th and more than maybe an inch.
From his own 30-yard line or so.
Inside his 30.
They'll send Pillarelli to the right side of Miller. Miller, 2-step drop, hitch route, too high, incomplete.
So they're going to get that punt and get the ball back.
Snyder, the intended receiver. And 4th down and 5 here for the Green Bears.
Well, Trevor Vogt will be back. Let's see if they can now.
This is really his first real punt return opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because they've sent the defense in with a short field on 4th down. And it's a fake. And overthrown, incomplete. Intended for Cooper Eidenauer. And a turnover on downs.
Absolutely. This could be the break Crawford's looking for. You know, they got all of a sudden they got a little more energy on the sideline, and you know, they're going to have great field position at the 26-yard line. Last time they had a short field, it was 2 plays and a touchdown. Let's see if it can happen again.
So a short field once again. We talked about it. Their last drive, their first drive of the game, they started at the 35 of Ottawa Hills. Now they're at the 26. 1st and 10. They send Peyton Baker in under center. Thomas and McMichael in the backfield. Trevor Vogt wide to the right. They'll fake the handoff, throw it up the middle of the field, intended for Vogt, incomplete. And 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that's the second time they ran that same play.
This time he had more time to throw.
And yeah, he still rushed it a little bit, I think. And sometimes, and it didn't look, I mean, that looked like the only choice he really had. I don't think he had the short guy open. Ottawa Hills did a pretty good job of covering everything up.
6:29 to go here, 3rd quarter. Colonel Crawford trailing 15-7. 2nd and 10 from the Green Bears' 26-yard line. Vogt hands it. Micah Thomas. And Thomas stopped short of the original line of scrimmage. Met right at the line of scrimmage is what they'll say. And we'll bring up 3rd down and 10. And
well, right now, Micah Thomas has 4 runs for no yards.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 10 yards for the Eagles.
3rd down and 10. 6 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Crawford looking for something offensively.
Well, they need to get something out of this to get into field goal range because, unfortunately, they're going against the wind. And it's a pretty good wind.
Vogt in the gun. Drops way back. Screen pass set up. And they'll slip through the initial tackle inside the 15-yard line and inside the 10 is Micah Thomas. Or excuse me, that's Connor McMichael. Inside the 10. You can see Vogt just continuing to drop back and wait for the play to evolve. Well, and Connor McMichael makes the catch and turns it up.
It really didn't look – it looked like they still had it pretty well covered. I was worried about an interception, but once he caught it, he had plenty of room to run.
1st and goal from the 9 here for Colonel Crawford. Baker in at quarterback. They'll toss it to Trevor Vogt, and Trevor Vogt slips through the initial tackle, but tackled in the backfield for a loss once again. Eidenauer makes the tackle back at the 13.
This Ottawa Hills defense is just so fast. And, you know, every time they try to run wide, there is just a host of people around Trevor Vogt. If it's him that's running wide, he's got a lot of company quickly. So they're getting good penetration again with Nepper and Burke and those guys, and then the linebackers are just coming on. He's got a guy open.
Baker throws it end zone incomplete, intended for Ryan McMichael. They fake the handoff. Baker rolls to the right. McMichael unable to make the catch.
Had him open early. It just took a little too long to get his feet set to throw it. And I thought he had a chance of getting it to him early for maybe the score, but Ottawa Hills was able to catch up and recover enough to break it up.
3rd and goal from the 13. Play clock down to 10. McMichael set up to the left here of Peyton Baker in the shotgun. Trevor Vogt goes in motion towards the right. Baker to throw. Looks up the middle of the field, and it's caught at the one by Trevor Vogt. Shy of the end zone. It's going to be 4th down. So Crawford, 4th and goal from the 1.
Well, I'd like to see him just get under center and run a quarterback sneak and push him into the end zone. I don't know what they're going to try, but they're in their wing T look, so that might what we get.
And Coach Bruner's going to take a timeout.
Timeout is called by Colonel Crawford.
Yeah, so let's go through the call here, Tim. And, I'd hate to take a break here and miss this, so I'm not going to do this. But so your Coach Bruner here, you say line it up, sneak it in.
Push him in. It's illegal.
The tush push.
Well, the tush push, I guess that's what they call it. I was trying to think of what they call it, in Philadelphia. But I think that's exactly what you do. It's easy to do when you're in that wing T look because you got, a fullback and a halfback right behind him almost. And, what the heck? He's your best player, your best runner when all is said and done. And you got two good-sized backs behind him in McMichael and Thomas. And let's see if we can get enough push to get him in.
So this is the biggest play of the game for Colonel Crawford.
And that ball's inside the one. It's like it looks like it's about 8 or 10 inches, 12 inches at best from the goal line.
15-7, Ottawa Hills on top. Colonel Crawford trying to punch it in.
I guess the big question here for me is, do you go quick count or take your time?
Vogt gets it, hands it. Thomas. He's
dives
in. He's in.
Great job by Micah Thomas to gain 1 yard.
It took all he had, but Thomas keeps driving the legs and dives into the end zone. And now Crawford a 2-point conversion away from tying this one up.
Yeah, he broke multiple tackles to gain 1 yard. But a great job by Micah Thomas getting in there and keeping his legs going. There it is again on the Ohio Report, driving in, and he got it in. Great job by the Crawford offensive line, giving him a little bit of room. And then he used his strength. He used all 210 pounds that time to get into the end zone.
So the 2-point conversion to try and tie this up at 15. 3:56 to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah,
play clock down to 6.
Look for Vogt to try to run something, go wide and one way or another and throw a pass.
He's going to drop back, throws it over the middle, and incomplete.
So he's broken up.
And incomplete. But Crawford is within 2. 3:56 to play here, third quarter. It is Ottawa Hills 15, Colonel Crawford 13. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
On retirement, who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Sorry. You're alive.
Back here on WBCO along with the OH Report. 3:56 left to play here, third quarter. Crawford with a 1-yard touchdown run by Micah Thomas. 2-point conversion failed, but now they're within 2, 15-13. And talked about it a little bit there between the break. Coach Carter took a gamble, was denied on fourth down on the fake punt. And Crawford with the short field. 2 huge plays on third down both times. A screen pass to Connor McMichael. And then a pass to the 1-yard line to Trevor Vogt, and then they punch it in on fourth down.
Well, to me, there's a big difference of going for it or running a fake kick when you're up near the 50-yard line. They were on the 26. And, again, with some of the teams that they played in the regular season that maybe weren't as good as Crawford, yeah, you're willing to take that chance because you got a great defense. But, they only had 26 yards. And even then it was tough for Crawford to get it because of their great defense, but they were able to do it.
Fielded at the 15. And they're going to run this up the left side with room to run as Jackson Snyder, and he's dragged out of bounds across the 40-yard line. And the Green Bears will set up with beautiful field position here at the 47.
Well, they kind of squibbed it, and he was able to catch it on the run. You know, Jackson Snyder caught it on the run. He's got great speed. He's been running all over the place all night. And he was able to catch it on a run, and he was holding on to the sleeve, the long sleeve that he was wearing. And luckily he did and was able to finally corral him at the 47-yard line.
1st and 10 here for the Green Bears. They're on 47. Miller hands it Pillarelli. Pillarelli dives across the line of scrimmage, but he'll only pick up a yard here. It's a 2nd down and 9.
You know, we've talked about it before. You know, Ottawa Hills only has a few seniors. They play a lot, you know, and some of the seniors are playing, certainly. But they got some really good young players. Pillarelli's only a sophomore.
Yeah, and his other brother that was hurt last week is a junior.
Right, and then he's got another one.
So they're going to have all 3 of those next year.
So, yeah. So
they could be a force next year in the playoffs as well. And Chase Miller, their quarterback, he's only a junior. Jackson Snyder, a junior. Nick Anderson, a junior. Chase Miller, deep. And caught, dropped at the 20-yard line. Cooper Eidenayer, another dropped pass, his 3rd of the game. There is a flag, and it'll go against Ottawa Hills.
He may decline this. No, he's going to take it.
He's going to take it because he's very fortunate there. That
he's going to talk it over now. I don't know. I might go 3rd and 9. It'll be interesting to see. He's going to take it. So I got to. Oh, it's holding. Okay.
Holding
that's whole
10 yards, yes.
10 yards you got to take. Yeah.
Eidenayer, though, another dropped pass, Tim, and that's his 3rd of the game.
Yeah.
You can see him streaking open once again behind that Crawford defense.
Yeah,
what's the breakdown there? What's going on?
There's no doubt. When receivers, he's a receiver, so he must be able to catch the football. So he is taking his eye off the ball. He's not watching it into his hands. I mean, and that's the few years I did coach wide receivers. I talked to them all the time. You catch the ball with your eyes.
2nd and 20 from the 37. Miller rolls out towards the left. They'll throw it back on the screen, and it's tipped and caught by Benjamin Burkhart.
He could have ran it because it was tipped. He could have ran it. So he didn't know what to do. Now they're calling. I don't know if the ball's tipped.
It was a screen pass, so the original tip was behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if the ball was tipped, it doesn't matter. But we'll see what happens.
He did take the knee right away.
There was a reason I was a coach and not a ref. Although I did try to ref sometimes. But I think once it's tipped, he can catch it. No, it's called legal touch. But let's see what they're going to do.
You could catch that if it was tipped, but is it because it was a screen and it was behind the –
unless it's a 10-yard penalty, I might take the – it's only a 5-yard penalty. I might have taken the play on that one and went 3rd and 20.
So instead it'll be 2nd down and 25 from the 32-yard line. They have to get to the Crawford 44 for a 1st down.
Well, with this offense, they're capable of doing it, But, Crawford has been solid on defense all night, so let's see what they come up with.
Fake the sweep. Run the throw back to Anderson. Anderson trying to get it outside, gets across the original tacklers, up over the 40-yard line. And it's picked up by Crawford. Inside the 10, inside the 10, inside the 5, and in the end zone. Crawford with a fumble return has taken the lead.
Now we just got to figure out who did it. He was so far away.
Trevor Vogt.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
What a change.
What a turn of events.
Oh, my goodness.
It is now 19-15 Crawford, 2:17 to play here, 3rd quarter.
It's like are they putting their offense back on the field again to go for 2? Looks like it. But you're right, what a turn of events. It was still going to be 3rd and long, But all of a sudden the ball came loose, and Vogt was able to get it on the fly.
They'll fumble the snap. Vogt to throw. Lobs it up.
It's in.
Caught! 2-point conversion. And Crawford now on top. 21-15.
And that was Bruner, I believe.
It was.
Yeah, so
as his dad gives him the celebration on the sideline.
You know, he just ran straight across the back line. And, you know, and there's the replay on the fumble recovery by Vogt on the OH report. You know, it was not an easy run either once he picked it up. He had to break a couple tackles. But he's a tough guy to bring down once he gets the ball on the fly. And that's what he was able to do, is pick it up with all of his momentum heading to the goal line. But suddenly Crawford up 21-15, and let's see if their defense can answer the bell here once again.
Unanswered by Colonel Crawford off the scoop and score from Trevor Vogt. 2:17 left here in the third quarter. Now all the momentum has turned towards the sideline here of the Eagles.
And I guess we'd like to remind those people listening to on the OH report, we are a radio station from Crawford County. So us getting excited about Crawford scoring, that's because they're our home team. So I don't know if we're supposed to be unbiased while we're on the OH report, but that ain't happening.
I would assume that the majority of people watching are probably watching for Crawford, but we get excited for touchdowns regardless.
Well,
right?
I do have family that works and lives in Ottawa Hills. so they might be listening. I told them we'd be on.
Okay. Well, welcome aboard. 21-15, Crawford with the lead. And what would be their second lead of the game? 2:17.
I would imagine this is probably only the second time Ottawa Hills has been behind in the game in the second half. Probably the game they lost, and then this one.
Yes.
Everything else was running clock.
2:17 to play, third quarter. Though the all-important 2-point conversion makes it a 6-point advantage for Crawford.
Gets the wind, a good kick.
They'll field it at the 10 and stop shy of the 25 is Jackson Snyder. So Ottawa Hills, 1st and 10 now from their own 25, 26-ish yard line. So the Crawford defense, though, Tim, you know, they've had a couple mishaps in the secondary, but able to scoop and score there to take the lead 21-15. Now Ottawa Hills trying to answer. And they'll run it with Pillarelli. Again, only about a 4-yard pickup. And 2nd down and 6.
Well, and it shows there, right there, running that play. It shows Ottawa Hills has no panic right now. You know, they're not going to all of a sudden say, oh, we're behind, we got to start firing the ball over the field. You know, they're going to stick with their stuff and try to stay balanced in the pass and the run and see what they can do here.
Miller's going to roll towards the left, steps up, throws it out in the flat and incomplete. Intended for Pillarelli again. And we're up 3rd down and 6 here from their own 30-yard line.
No, and that's probably the worst throw he's made all night. I mean, he had him wide open. Pillarelli was wide open out in the flat, and there was really no pressure on him. And he was rolling to his left, and he's left-handed. And he just made a bad throw. Threw it well behind him. But, yeah, he hasn't had too many bad throws. He's had a lot of drops, but not too many bad throws.
3rd and 6 here for Ottawa Hills from their own 30-yard line. Miller in the gun. Steps, throws, caught right at the marker. I believe this is Jackson Snyder. Picks up the 1st down here for Ottawa Hills, just enough. They tried to run that play the past 2 drives, and both times it failed. This time they convert.
Well, and just a really smart play by Snyder, making sure that he got 7 yards. so that he would get the first down, and ran his out cut, was open. Ball delivered on time on a timing play, and a great job by the Green Bears to get the first down.
And Miller didn't even drop back, just snap, step, throw.
Well, it was, what they call a quick pass and completed. Now he's going to, a double move.
Oh, a double move. They had him, and they're going to, they're going to get a flag on this. And I would have to
It should
agree.
be a hold. It shouldn't be pass interference. It should be a hold.
Well, it does depend because the ball was in the air as well, right? So
I'm not sure if it was in the air when the contact was there.
Yeah, Lucas Foy
So
was
it'll be
beat
interesting
on the
to
double
see.
move.
Yeah.
Definitely a penalty. And
They're still talking it over, so I don't know if they're trying to figure out whether it was interference or
I think they're
hold.
trying. Yep, so
it's
they
a
call it
hold.
Regardless, it's still going to be a first down.
Ball is holding on Colonel Crawford.
Well, to be honest, it may have prevented a touchdown because there was no one behind Foy.
That will
And
first down.
so it very well may have prevented. It was probably a good hold because it may have prevented a touchdown.
So
I'd
they'll
much rather have a 10-yard gain than 6 going up on the board.
Have it at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10, 52 seconds to play here, third quarter. They'll send Anderson in motion. They'll give it to Pillarelli, who's met and dropped. And Caden Bruner in there on the tackle. He's having himself a ball game.
That's what I was going to say. We've called his number a few times, especially from his linebacker spot. And he's having a heck of a game. Got the 2-point conversion, had an interception, and several tackles.
2nd down and 10 from their own 46. Looks like they have to run at least one play here with the play clock differential only just a second. Miller in the gun. They'll send Anderson in motion. They'll fake the handoff, roll out towards the left. Has Snyder open, also has Perozic who makes the catch at the 50, cuts upfield across the 40, and still running down the sideline, keeps his feet in bounds, cuts it back inside. What a play, Perozic into the end zone, and Ottawa Hills has tied this one up. Pure determination by John Perozic.
Yeah,
we are tied at 21.
Well, first Miller made a good throw. He was being brought down to the ground and got the pass off to Perozic, and then Perozic was wide open when he first caught it, but then he broke a number of tackles on his way to the end zone. A great big kid and strong, and again, he's a great defender, but also very capable on offense.
And the kick is good by Michael Walker, and Ottawa Hills takes the lead. 22-21. We have played 3 quarters here at Colonel Crawford. You're listening to high school football on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa.
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Winford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Are you ready for the comeback?
22-21.
Current score, Bluffton 38, Winford 0.
Ottawa Hills on top of Colonel Crawford.
As a reminder, the victor.
Couple score updates. Galleon leading West Holmes 13-7 with 11-11.
38-0 Bluffton.
Left to go in the fourth quarter over in West Holmes. And Bluffton with the win over Winford, 38-0. So winner of this game to face Bluffton next Friday night. But a chance here to go to the Sweet 16 with a win.
Absolutely, and Bluffton over in the Lima, Ada area.
Tyler Smith on the onside recover, or squib recovery you could call it. Kind of a mixture of both. So we at the 43-yard line here, basically to start this fourth quarter, 22-21.
And like we're talking off air, Colonel Crawford now going with the win. They got a nice stiff wind at his back, and last week I believe they kicked a 44-yard field goal. So based on both kickers, though, I think both can drill a field goal. Oh yeah, they look pretty good. But one's going against the wind and one's going with it.
Peyton Baker in at quarterback. Vogt moves towards the left side. They snap it short, and I believe this is going to be a false start. 13-7, Galleon on top.
Well, the Galleon defense must be playing unbelievable. I believe West Holmes put up 70 last week in their first round playoff game, and won 70-50. So
they're playing some defense. We've seen that this year. Crawford here, though, and another penalty. And it's offsides.
So we get their 5 yards back.
So they get the 5 yards back. So it'll go back to a 1st and 10 from the 42. Teams trading penalties.
The other way brings it back to 1st down and 10 for the Eagles.
Now Micah Thomas checks out. Connor McMichael in. Peyton Baker in the gun with McMichael to his right. They'll run trips to the right side here for the Eagles. They'll fake the handoff to McMichael, and it's broken up, incomplete. Perozic almost made the interception. He would have been into the end zone.
That was
he
close.
knocked that down right in front of Baker. He read that play beautifully off the edge, and Perozic, he could have had touchdowns.
That was not one where he was just batting it down. I mean, he jumped, and it came just about head level.
He could have had touchdowns and basically back-to-back plays.
Yeah, that was close.
So 2nd down and 10. They're going to line up Trevor Vogt now to the right side of Baker. He'll go in motion towards the left side. Matched up one-on-one with Miller. Baker steps up in the pocket, heaves it up the hash, and incomplete. Trevor Vogt trying to draw a flag there, and to no avail. 3rd and 10. You knew once they had that one-on-one coverage that they were going to Trevor Vogt. It was just a matter if they could get it to him.
Baker had a little pressure on him and really was going to have to hold the ball a little longer than I think he wanted to.
There's a flag, I guess, on the far side.
Also, I don't know why we have to talk it over for so long. This is legal motion. Well, they call these penalties very late.
So still 2nd down, so negate the play. Second down and 15. Trevor Vogt back in at quarterback. Ball at the 37-yard line. Vogt rolling out towards the right. Throw back, across screen set up for Micah Thomas. Thomas breaks through a couple of tackles and then dives across the 45 to the 47. Much more manageable 3rd down now at 3rd and 5. Maybe 3rd and 6.
Well, it was kind of a weird play in a way. They were running a middle screen.
I thought it was going to be a throwback screen all the way towards
Thomas
the left side.
Was in front of all of his blockers. He ran past the blockers, so he had no one blocking for him and did a great job of gaining 10 yards, but he could have probably got some additional if he would have had a few blockers in front of him.
11 minutes to go in the game, 3rd and 5. They'll feed it. Thomas into the open. Thomas with a burst inside the 40, cuts it back and dragged down at the 31-yard line. Micah Thomas with his biggest play of the game.
Yeah, that's the first time he's had any room at all to run. And, that's something we're used to seeing, that he's got that kind of room to run. And ran it down a 22-yard gain.
Ball at the Green Bears 31-yard line. 1st and 10. Vogt rolls out towards the right, lobs it up, and tipped incomplete. Maybe Perozic got a hand on it. I believe he did. And it falls to the grass. Incomplete. Second down.
Well, to be honest, I think they caught a break with it getting tipped, because even if it did get completed, it was going to be a loss.
2nd down and 10.
But Perozic, he is a load on defense. There isn't any doubt. He kind of shuts down one side of the field. You got to find where he is and just say, we're not going that way.
10 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the game. Ottawa Hills 22, Colonel Crawford 21. Baker in the gun. They'll send Vogt towards the left side. They'll hand it to Thomas. Thomas with blockers. Thomas drags defenders to the 25. He'll be dragged down there. Gain of 6 for Micah Thomas. And another 3rd down and 5 here for Colonel Crawford. Starting to run with a little momentum here is Micah Thomas. And the blockers, you can tell, kind of the counterplay, putting those blockers out in front. He's been able to run through that line.
Well, and what they're doing, and they're running away from Perozic. They want to go to their left.
They do indeed go that way again. Gets to the hole, into the second level, inside the 10, Micah Thomas. They'll mark him down at the 9, but Crawford with 1st and goal.
Just ran a little stretch play and didn't pull anyone really. Yeah, but Thomas has now had back-to-back. He was at one point had five carries and a yard, and now he's suddenly had 8 carries for 42 yards and 8 carries. So he's went back-to-back over 20, 40-some yards, 41 yards in his last 3 carries.
Baker, they'll send Vogt in motion. Baker in the gun. Hands it Thomas again, and Thomas this time is dragged down in the backfield. And that was
Nepper again. He's made several plays where they just don't get him blocked.
Back at the 13-yard line, 2nd and goal from the 13. 9:40 to play here in the game. Ottawa Hills 22, Colonel Crawford 21. They'll send Peyton Baker to the sideline. Trevor Vogt back in at quarterback.
Well, what they really want to do here is whatever they do, they got to avoid a sack because they're still in field goal range right now.
10 seconds on the play clock. Vogt fakes the handoff, rolls out towards the right, being chased by Nepper, throws it across his body, and it's picked off.
He may go.
Across the 35, down the sideline to the 30, past the 25. And what a mistake. You talk about not taking a sack, and maybe that time he should have.
Well, he should have just threw it away.
Instead of throwing across his body.
He was outside the box, so he could have just threw it away. All he had to do was throw it past the line of scrimmage, and he tried to throw it across his body, and I didn't see any black shirts around. It was all white shirts, and somebody was going to pick it off.
Nick Anderson with the interception, and that is pretty much a game changer right there.
Yeah, big game changer right there.
Had 1st and goal at the 9.
And all they needed was a field goal to take the lead again, and so let's see if their defense can respond. Quick change here, that's what you're calling your defense to do on a quick change, is making a response. Let's see what they can come up with.
They'll give it Pillarelli off the right side. Cuts it up to the 40. Now they're about 5-yard gain. They're on 1st down for Pillarelli. Payne DeGray on the tackle. 8:52 left in the game. Ottawa Hills leading by 1 at 22-21. 2nd down and 5 here for the Green Bears from their own 39. And it's just stunned silence.
Yeah. Well, they had all that momentum. They finally got their running game going a little bit. And, then Nepper, the key to it all was Nepper making the big play. On a 2nd and 5, Nepper makes a huge play, gets a loss, and puts him in a passing down.
Pillarelli, no, they'll fake the handoff. Miller rolling out towards the left. Bruner tries to chase him down, cannot, and he's ran out of bounds across midfield. Picks up the first down and a little bit more. Beautiful fake. I thought Pillarelli had that.
Well,
and instead, Miller takes it off the left side.
And then it was a really good run,
down.
and the one of the linemen for Ottawa Hills did a great job because he could have easily blocked the guy in the back, and it looked like he was going to, and block him or push him, and then he finally pulled off, and to avoid the penalty, and Miller just outran everybody to the perimeter.
7 seconds on the play clock. Miller in the gun. Anderson in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep. Miller off the left side. Miller with room to run. Down the sideline. Inside the 30. Ryan McMichael can't bring him down, but they'll track him down from behind. And a first down inside the 15-yard line for Ottawa Hills.
Well, you look at the replay, Ottawa Hills just sent everybody to the right. All their backs, even their linemen were blocking like it was going to be a run to the right, and he kind of came out on a naked boot, and there was no one over there. So a 38-yard gain, 37-yard gain for the Green Bears, and they're in business 1st and 10, it looks like, on about the 12-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 12, 7:40 to play in the game. Play clock down to 5. Miller takes the snap, hands it. Pillarelli off the right side again. Gets inside the 10 and then is piled up at the 7-yard line. A gain of 5 there for Pillarelli. And a 2nd down and 5.
Just staying on, in their base offense and getting Pillarelli to run off tackle and another 5-yard gain. He's just slow but sure on 22 carries. He's gained 91 yards. And it's, usually he runs a lot more than this per play. But just doing a really good job tonight of running hard. He's very fast and obviously very strong for his size.
Miller lobs it right side. Caught. Turning in. Touchdown. Ottawa Hills. It's Jackson Snyder.
Jackson Snyder for the touchdown.
And Ottawa Hills and the Green Bears now up 28-21 with 6:48 to play.
3rd touchdown pass for Miller. And
we'll see what they're going to do here.
They should just kick it.
I mean, they're lined up to, and are they going to snap this? They do.
They are.
They're going to go for 2. They run off the right side. Huge play here. There is a flag. He stopped shy of the end zone. They're not going to get the 2. It remains a 7-point game, and it'll go against the offense anyway. And what?
Well, I'm sure the metrics somewhere say, well, if you go for 2, then it becomes a 2-score game. Well, to me, it's not easy to get 2-point conversions. Kick it, you're up 8. Then you force Crawford's hand. And you've played great defense all night.
Yeah.
Crawford
with some life. 28-21, 6:48 to go.
Yeah, it's still one score game.
You're listening to high school football here on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Are you ready for the comeback?
48 to go. Also on the OH Report. Ottawa Hills on top of Colonel Crawford.
Well, let's see what they do on a kickoff this time. You know, they've kicked a couple deep. They've squibbed a couple, and let's see what they're going to do this time. They're going to kick it deep. Vote's going to get a shot.
Fielded at the 22. Trevor Vogt trying to go towards the right. Now stutters and shimmies his way up to the 34. So Crawford trailing by 7, 6:41 to go here in the game, but an opportunity. We talk about that two-point conversion fail, and it just kind of doesn't make sense. I don't know what Coach Carter was kind of doing there.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I prefer to kick it. I would prefer to kick it and get an 8-point lead and force the other team to go for 2. And, you know, now he's taking that out of the equation where I'm sure if Crawford goes down, they're going to, and scores, they're just going to kick it and tie the game.
Fumbles the snap, and he's hit and dropped. They're going to say he was down regardless.
Were they trying to go in motion and it may hit the motion man? It just looked really weird as to what happened on that one. You know, he just bobbled it, and then the motion man almost kicked it, or the running back almost kicked it. So, big loss there,
Second down and 15. Yeah. They'll bring Peyton Baker to the sideline. I mean, do you think that's a rhythm thing here, Tim? I mean, they bring Vogt in now, so 4 wide receivers set. Vogt to throw. It looks like they have a screen set up. He throws it to right side, and this didn't make it to the line of scrimmage, I would assume.
It doesn't matter because he was standing right in the middle of the pocket. It wasn't like he was out of the tackle box. But they're going to call it incomplete pass.
Are they going to?
So a big break there for Colonel Crawford, I think.
I don't know. Okay. So no.
No, now they're bringing it back. Now they're bringing it back.
They never dropped the flag. Instead, they're bringing it back. So now it's going to be a loss of down, and that's the biggest part of that as well. Now it's 3rd down and a mile.
Yeah. You know, now you just run the ball and punt it.
I thought that was a spot foul. Another 10 yards on top of it.
Well, I don't know. They took it back a mile.
They're at the 10-yard line.
They took it back 19 yards.
44-yard line for a first down. Vogt steps up in the pocket, throws it, caught, gains some of it back, but it's going to be it's 4th down, right? Yep. 4th and 22. So Crawford now, I mean, they're not in a position to go for it here with 5:28 to go. And Braxton Morton in the punt here for Colonel Crawford.
Needs to hit a good one. Got some wind behind his back, and I think he can kick it past the deep man right now.
Yeah, there's nobody back to return. End over end, gets it across the 40, and it'll drop and roll out of bounds around the 36-yard line. And Ottawa Hills will take over possession from their own 36 with 5:05 left in the game. And Colonel Crawford only with 2 timeouts.
And they might have to use them during this drive if they want to make sure they got plenty of time to still be able to get a touchdown.
28-21. With 5:05 left in the game, 1st and 10 here for the Green Bears from their own 36-yard line.
Well, let's see what Ottawa Hills comes up with. Miller on the last drive made some huge plays, certainly.
Miller hands it. Pillarelli off the right side again. Slips through the first tackle. Burst across the 40-yard line to the 41. I ran up 2nd down and guess it, 5.
And Pillarelli just does a really good job. He runs really hard, and he just plants his foot and gets up the field. And once he makes a decision, he's going up the field. He's going full tilt. He's got great speed, and you know he's going to step it up in there, and as he consistently does, just gains 5 yards.
4:27 now left in the game. 8 seconds on the play clock. Pillarelli, right tackle. Gets
a lot of
through
guys
the
out front
initial
of him.
contact and is finally stumbling inside the 45 to the 44. Picks up a first down.
It's one of his bigger runs tonight. A 15-yarder gets him over 100 yards at 112 yards. And if he kept his balance, he might have been gone.
.358 left in the game, 28-21. Ottawa Hills on top. Miller says hold it for a second because there's now 10 seconds left on the play clock. Pillarelli to the left of Miller. Shotgun, snap, feeds it. Pillarelli again off the right side. This time is stopped shy of the 40 at the 42. He'll gain 2 or 3 yards, and Coach Bruner's going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 3:39 left in the game. 28-21, Ottawa Hills on top. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa!
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Along with the OH report, 3:39 left in the game. Ottawa Hills leading by 7, 28-21 with the football. 2nd and 8 from the Crawford 42-yard line. They'll fake the handoff, run it right side with Miller, picks up the first down and more, cuts it back inside, dragged down inside the 30 and ran out of bounds. At the 15-yard line is Chase Miller. And now the Green Bear faithful really starting to feel it here with a first down. And they'll mark him at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, just a great run by Chase Miller once again, getting outside. And now he's approaching. He's got 77 yards. Of course, he's only carried the ball like 5 times.
.332 left in the game, and a whistle here. And now Ottawa Hills is going to take a timeout. Let's step aside. 28-21, 3:32 left here in the game. Ottawa Hills on top. You listen to high school football on WBCO along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Top of Colonel Crawford, 3:32 to go in the game. Ottawa Hills with the ball, 1st and 10 at the Crawford 18-yard line. A score update. West Holmes takes a 22-19 lead on Gallion with 29 seconds left in the game.
Said it was a tip pass.
Tip pass, and Miller and the gun. Pillarelli to his right. They'll send Anderson in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep. Pillarelli off the counter play. Tripped up at the 19-yard line. Coach Bruner takes his final timeout.
I think that's the first time they've tackled him for a loss, and I'm not sure they tackled him as much as he slipped and fell.
So 2nd down and 12. Timeout Crawford. We'll keep it here. Reminder, tune in to the Friday night phone board. David Jones will have all the scores from around the area. Give him a call, 419-562-2222. Sure, he'll be looking for all the scores, and I think he's probably already on the air based on the score from the other game with Winford and Bluffton at 38-0 Bluffton win. So, winner of this game, Crawford and Ottawa Hills, will face off against Bluffton.
Well, this becomes a key down because if they can stuff it, now Coach Carter's got to make a decision on third down. I mean, it'll take the clock down a little bit, but he's also going to have to decide whether he wants to throw it, take a chance on throwing it and stopping the clock again.
He's taking chances all night.
Yeah, he really has.
Second down and
12
we'll
see what
here.
happens, but they got to get a stop right here.
3:26 to go. Coach Bruner and company out of timeouts. They'll run it with Miller, the quarterback keeper, left side. And Miller goes out of bounds.
Yeah,
that
not
is
a good
huge
move
for
there
Colonel
either.
Crawford.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clock stops at 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Surprised he didn't slide down there, and a mental mistake there by Chase Miller. So third down and 7. I'd
definitely run the ball now.
Run the ball here and take up more
well,
time.
because you can run it, and you can run it on fourth down if you want.
Or
I mean, he can try to kick a field goal.
Do you risk it, though, and have it blocked? They'll run it. Pillarelli off the right side. Pillarelli drags defenders inside the 15. He's short of a first down.
I think they may have been setting this up for a field goal try. They got the ball kind of right in the middle of the field now.
Yeah, at the 12-yard line, fourth down and 4.
Or do you not, like you said, or do you not take the chance of getting it blocked and just put this on your defense? And, Colonel Crawford's going to have to hit some kind of pass because they're out of timeouts.
2.5 minutes when this play happens.
He probably will take it down, to be honest. He'll probably take it down and take a timeout.
Yeah. And so Crawford, we'll see what Coach Carter decides here as the clock does run down and he takes the timeout. 2:32 left in the game. 28-21, Ottawa Hills on top. We'll keep it here. And Tim, I mean, you're the coach. I would assume that he can kick this, and it looks like they're all patting out the kicker here of Michael Walker. And I think they're going to try a field goal here. Do you agree with this? I mean,
yeah.
You're at the 12. This will be probably about a 30-yarder.
Well, it's kind of a weird situation because, I mean, they've only kicked one. They've made one field goal all year, so they probably haven't tried a whole lot because of the way they score.
Yeah, you haven't had to.
And so, but this guy, he's obviously got a good leg. So, you just tell these guys, max protection, don't let anyone come through your gap, and as long as you don't get it blocked, very well probably going to hit it and make it a 2-score game and put it out of reach.
Will be a 30-yard field goal. Michael Walker, low snap.
Oh, my goodness.
Muffed. Michael Walker throws it up, and it's caught.
It's caught by a line. It's got to be caught by a line.
It doesn't matter anyway. Ball still fumbled around. Crawford picks it up, and they're going to have the ball at around the 17-yard line.
I want to see if he threw it to a legal receiver to start with. That's what was weird.
So Crawford still with life.
So it was like a big scrum, so it's really hard to see it.
That ball was just bobbling
see
around.
What went on, right. But it was crazy. But it's Crawford ball. They got 2:18, no timeouts. But a chance to tie this thing up if they can make a couple big plays here somewhere.
So 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line, and obviously you're going to have to hit a couple passes, and they've been close on some of them. And let's see if they can hit one here. With the season on the line and a trip to the Sweet 16 here in Division 6, Region 22. 2:18 left in the game. Crawford trailing 28-21. It'll be Peyton Baker in at quarterback. They'll set up at 4 wide. Vote in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep to him. Baker rolls, throws, caught at the 25. The clock continues to run. And that was Connor McMichael on the catch. Crawford hurries up, 2nd and 1 from the 25. 2 minutes to play. 3 wide receivers towards the left side. Baker looks towards that way and intended for Connor McMichael. He overthrows him, incomplete. 3rd down and 1 with 1:52. Now they can take a little bit of time here. You think you get the first down first and then hurry it up?
Yeah, you got to get the first down, so they may run it, but it looks like they're going to keep it back in the backfield. But this is a throwing formation, and so
Trevor Vogt.
Hopefully they can, they just got to do a better job of protecting him so he can get it off.
Baker steps up, looking to throw, throws it long, tipped and incomplete through the hands of Nicholas Anderson, intended for Lucas Foy. Anderson could have sealed the game, and instead it's 4th and 1 here for Crawford.
Well,
again, more importantly, you got to pick up the first down to extend the game.
Well, he's also very lucky that it didn't go into Foy's hands, that it just got over Foy's head because there was no one in front of Foy. I mean, once he missed it, Foy could have caught it and ran for a huge gain, if not a touchdown.
Season on the line here for the Eagles. They'll spread it out. Empty backfield for Peyton Baker. Looking to throw. Throws it. Caught by Foy at the 30. And he will get the first down. And they will hurry it up and get to the line. Ball spotted. Clock started. 1:40 to go. 1st and 10 from the 30 here for the Eagles. Baker. They still continue to try and get the play call in here. They send 3 towards the right side, and the snap goes early. There will be a penalty flag. Baker falls on it back at the 19-yard line.
I'm not sure why there's a flag. He snapped it, and no one was paying attention. But I didn't see anyone move.
If you're Crawford here, you kind of take advantage and hurry up and get set up. So see what the call. The officials huddle up.
Again, now they got to huddle up and talk it over. Either it was a penalty or it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, there's 2 flags, one on the far side, one on the near side.
So he's calling an illegal
Crawford.
shift. They got to hit a big one. They've dinked and dunked a little bit to move it up and got a first down, but they need to hit. They need to hit one here.
Penalty was declined.
Decline the penalty. Now they will start the clock. Minute 25 left in the game. 2nd down and about 20 from the 20. Baker rolls out towards the left, throws it back across his body. Intercepted, no, dropped.
Another drop.
By Chase Miller.
Fingers pass, almost intercepted.
The Green Bears have had 2 chances to
that might have been
easier.
That might have even been easier, and I think that was a touchdown.
Well, I
think he had all green grass in front of him.
I think Benjamin Burke kind of stepped in front of him, and Miller just dropped it. So 3rd down and 20 from the 20, a minute 13 to go here for Crawford with the ball at their own 20-yard line. Baker in the shotgun. Steps back to throw, shoots it up, middle of the field, nowhere close, incomplete. And now Colonel Crawford with a 4th and 20. Once again from their own 20-yard line with the season on the line and what could be the final offensive play if they don't convert.
Yeah, and I don't know what play you have in your playbook when it's 4th and 20.
Chuck it up and say a prayer?
Yeah, you're just going to throw it deep and hope, one of your guys can make a play.
Baker back to pass. Pressure coming. Steps up, throws, incomplete. And that will seal the deal. Ottawa Hills just has to take a knee.
Twice,
yes, indeed. And they will be heading to the Sweet 16.
Ottawa Hills will take over on Colonel Crawford's 20-yard line. 1st and 10, the Bears.
And they will face Bluffton next Friday.
Based on the score against Winford, should be a pretty good ball game.
Bluffton the 2 seed, but of course Crawford came in as the number 3 seed. Ottawa Hills the 6 seed, moving on to face Bluffton as Miller takes the knee, and they'll only have to do that one more time and walk out of here with a win. And Crawford's season is over as they, with the loss, their season record at 10-2. Ottawa Hills advances, moving to 11-1.
Yeah, Crawford was hoping to win their 11th game for the first time in school history, but they will have to wait another year to try to break that record.
And Ottawa Hills takes the knee, and they will indeed advance to the round of 16, and they will face Bluffton next Friday night.
Well, congratulations to the Green Bears, and good luck next week against Bluffton, wherever that game's played, probably around Findlay somewhere.
28-21, your final here tonight. Stay tuned for the postgame show. We'll wrap this one up. Ottawa Hills with the win over Colonel Crawford. You're listening to the Lewis family and McDonald's, the Bucyrus and Galleon Game of the Week, along with watching on the OH Report.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa,
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
We are back with our Baker's Pizza MVP. And just tell me how tonight went. You're on the road. You know, you had a rough first drive. A lot of penalties kept bringing you guys back. What was the mindset coming into that second drive?
Yeah, I mean, we started out rough, but our coach just got us settled down. All of our players, we started settling down, get back into Green Bear football, and we just played our game and got the job done.
You had a very fantastic game on both sides of the ball tonight. 2 touchdowns, a 50-yard rushing touchdown, you know, just a lot of different things that were going on. What do you think that you did right tonight?
I just played my hardest, but I couldn't have done it without my lineman, a quarterback getting me the ball. Coaches, they're calling the right plays at the right time.
Next week, you're going in, you guys are playing Bluffton. What's your mindset for that? You know, next week, I think it's history that you guys have never made it to week 13. So what does all that mean?
I mean, it's a big opportunity. We're coming in with a lot of momentum. They're a good football team, but we're going to play hard and win. Good job done.
Lastly, there was a lot of people watching tonight. If you want to look up here, any shout-outs? Perfect, thank you.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
Hey, I need that senior discount.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
It is time now for your Burkhart Farm Center post-game show. I'm Madeline Suzuto here with Keaton Cooper. Keaton, what a game tonight. You know, it was a close matchup, and Ottawa Hills and Colonel Crawford, they were pretty close for the entire time, but Ottawa Hills came out on top. What do you think was the determining factor that allowed the Green Bears to win this game?
a lot of it was being able to get down and score, which gave Crawford some trouble because they are historically a run team, and putting them on their backs and making them have to pass the ball really just changed it up because they had 6 rushing yards that game. And I mean, we seen last week with Micah Thomas that they're a pound and run defense or offense. So when they have to pass the ball, you've seen a lot more. You've seen interception. You see just balls going out, just not what you want to see, and just making that Crawford team uncomfortable was really what allowed these guys to come out on top.
I couldn't agree more. And honestly, just looking at the stats, total yards for Ottawa Hills was 415, and Colonel Crawford only had 110. And like you said, 6 rushing yards when they are historically a running team. So, yeah, that is going to wrap up the season for Colonel Crawford. And Ottawa Hills is going against who again? I already forgot. Wafton. They will be against Wafton. And I know last year I did some research. Ottawa Hills didn't even make it past the first game in the playoffs last year. So this is a big deal for them. Good luck to them. It was great covering Colonel Crawford. Colonel Crawford, though. And that is going to wrap things up here. Shout out to everyone that made today possible. Keaton Cooper on the camera. We got WQEL had our play-by-play and our color commentary. And I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors one last time before we log off tonight. We had First Federal Community Bank, Burkhart Farm Center, Old 30 Barbecue, Baker's Pizza out of Bucyrus. Great pizza, highly recommend. Frito Lay, and of course the radio station WQEL. And that is going to do it. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good night.